Hi everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen and I'm going to show you this Fortnite cake made by my other son. Now I mentioned before my kids are home from school because of the coronavirus and my other son decided he wanted to make a cake. So he's going to make a Fortnite llama and we're going to show you how.
So first we took circles and we drew the shapes that we would need so we knew where to cut. Then we cut out the shape and just placed it on top of the cake so we knew where to cut to get the proper shapes, as you can see I'm doing right here. Now you got to cut off all of them, which is why you marked them all. And we'll have pictures of them for you in case you need, so you don't have to fumble around with it for 20 minutes like we do, or that we did. So as you can see here, I'm an idiot and used the wrong part, so don't do that. There we go, I got it. So now all you gotta do is not that. You have to just cut out the hole because we're just gonna use that part and we're gonna remove it and put it off to the side with the other part. So that's gonna be his neck and his head, yeah. And we're gonna cut off his bottom lip, and next is gonna be his ear. And yeah, right there. So now you gotta assemble it in the proper way. You're gonna put that at the top. His lip is gonna go there. So it makes kind of like his neck and his open mouth, and there's his ear in the top, you know?
Thumbs up for a good job.
Yeah, you know it. Now we got a little bit of Bob Ross going on. We gotta run all the colors across the bottom of the screen. And so what we do is we take the icing that you probably know how to make, and we're just gonna mix it up until we get a nice color that we want. You know, you gotta.
Yeah. So we have some teal, some dark blue, and some white, and some purpley rose colored. That came out more purple than we intended, but it still works. So yeah, right?
Yeah, it works fine.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna transition over to where you're applying it to the actual cake itself. I decided to flip it over because it would just be easier to apply the icing. And now I gotta reassemble it, as you can probably tell.
But you handled it because you're really not an idiot. You're a smart boy.
That is debatable. So now I'm just starting to spread it on, and I'm putting it in between the pieces, how I'm putting them together to make it just kind of stick together better. So when you do that, it'll harden together instead of separate pieces. And now you gotta put icing on the ear as well. You can't forget that. You gotta get the mouth on. And then once you're done with all that, you have to go around the edge and apply it so that, you don't see any cake.
And you might want to go a little thicker with the purple icing because there was a lot of crumbs. And so even though you're seeing this part, you're going to see like a magical transition in a moment where it looks a little smoother. So, oh, what? What is that?
Wow.
It's like magic, right?
Yeah, I didn't do that part.
I helped a little.
So now once you do that, you're going to apply.
What are you going to apply?
You're not doing this, I thought. So this is what I did, which is one way that you can do it, but like it's not the best. So if you want to do this, you can. It doesn't look as good. And I got the color scheme like mixed up, so I did the wrong order.
Yeah, and this is what I walked away from because he's a teenager and I thought I could trust him with this. And I came back to like stripes and so we scraped a lot of it off. And then what did we do?
Then we took a tube and we pushed it through into the head of the shape thing.
Okay, we used a tip. We used the basket weave tip, a real big fat basket weave tip because it's grated or like grooved on the one side and flat on the other.
And we made squares.
Yes, we're using it to create flat surface squares and we're just using the back of the knife. Let the buttercream set a little bit. It'll dry up. And then you can tap it with the back of your knife and make it squared off so your edges are a little bit cleaner.
Gives him a nice fluffy fur feel.
Or piñata tassel-y feel.
That too, yes. Now we're going to do the eye, which is just going to be icing. You're just going to make sure it's even all around. And then you're going to have to go do the teeth on his bottom jaw only. He has none on the top of his mouth. As you can see, we're only doing the bottom. We're making very careful
Very sure, careful. We're making very good, sure, careful English, too.
that that we get none on the top lip, and then you can use a chocolate chip or whatever you want for the eye.
It was very exciting. You had some fist pumps going.
I was eating the chocolate chips. Now we have to roll out some brown to make his face harness.
Yeah, this is gum paste we're using here.
Gum paste, yep. So you have to flatten it out, and then you have to cut a nice straight line. You want it as long as possible because you can cut it shorter if you need, you know?
And if you don't have gum paste, you can just use icing. Then you just have to save some of that white icing to make brown later on.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you start with the front of his face satchel thing. You're going to cut it and then push it into the side of his face. And then you do it across. I knew that. You didn't have to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cut it again and just push it some more. You push it against that side. And
it just tucks right into the buttercream.
It does. And then you're going to take the rolly pin and you're going to take a nice gray little tiny ball and you're just going to smush it a little bit with the rolling pin to make it kind of like a
so you have like
divot.
a groove in the middle.
And then you just put it on his mouth. Oh, I clapped. Yeah.
You were very happy with yourself. And there you go. There's your Fortnite llama. See, I'm messing up too. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe because it does help us out. I hope you guys aren't going stir crazy. Everybody's healthy. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.
Stay safe, gamers.